So you're now in tune to Star Media IP Radio on the web and don't touch that mouse. Webcasting live from Kingston, Jamaica. Now this program is brought to you by SMTVS.com. IP Digital Media Publishing Platform. So good morning, respect to everyone out there in the internet world. My friends on Facebook and Twitter and Google Plus, and big respect and much love to my families, and just keep the thing alive, right? Now, this news hour is sponsored by DTM R&D. So I say good morning to all the listeners. I'm Von Allen. I'm here to give you some news and updates, SMTVS. I'm also the head developer at SMTVS.com. Okay, so I'll give you some talk about the web and some thing I was listening to on the John Morris show. Well, okay, the internet. Well, it seems around 1990, you should say 1990 is when the internet was really, the internet just came along. And as John said, and I said in my past program, yes, there was only text. I remember, which is true, just going on there and, you can just do a minimum editing. And, but they moved really fast. By 1991, we had pictures and hypertext, And by 1992, everything started opening up more better. And you see the big companies like Microsoft and all these guys, I remember using Dell editors and Microsoft editors to create web page in those days, right? So let's vibe a little bit on those days. Okay. As most people, I should let you know, yes, I did study to be an engineer, audio engineer, right? So, and music, that's what I did, music, and I had a little studio. Now, musicians are always the first people to get into technology because we are just those type. And so, like I referred back in the time when I was young, about 18, we walked in Washington, me and my wife, and we looked at a computer, and I first got enlightened. I saw it, I liked it, and I bought it at the same time. After staying in the shop and reading the book and all the features, I just bought the machine. So there was no internet during those time, right? Yes, during the time Macintosh, they didn't call it Apple, it was Macintosh. As far as communication, as far as the email thing, they had Apple Talk, right? So you hook up your phone to your computer and you can really just type back and forth. Sort of like the first type of email. It was also developing in a way that developers could really correspond with each other. And the Apple Talk is what really brought you the email. That was your first email. A lot of times people said, why being on a Mac? They should realize that Mac was the one that had Apple Talk, referred to as Apple Computer these days. And when Microsoft and other companies got into it, they sort of turned the thing around in a winner fashion, giving you email, but the email was really like the Apple Talk. But you didn't need to hook up on the phone no more because we had the internet line now, right? So things change. Now, something, as John said, in the 90s, when I just started out in website development, it was sort of the standard, web standard that they really set, and they wanted to follow. But I am one who like to have unique style, different tastes, and certainly, So I got my first website at MSN, and it's one of those little basic farm website that you sort of just do your thing and fill in the forms and save it. It's nothing about coding. But during that time, I was also learning to code and build web pages. So I changed from there real fast because I said the site didn't come up to what I wanted. And I didn't really even research. Microsoft was charging too much money to get a developer site at that point anyway. Okay, so the first thing I did a search and looked to find a website that I can develop my pages. And after doing my search, I looked at a bunch of sites and I looked at one. I remember bizlan.com. So yes, I kept the other site and it was more a business site for my company. And then I decided to start a second site now, one that I can really try out some of the things I've learned in developing HTML pages. Okay, let's step back a little bit and talk about designing. Now, in website HTML page, we started reading, they showed you how to create an unformatted HTML page. Everybody who learn website development, first hello page is a unformat page. Then they start moving you into the format area of the page where start using style sheet to change the size of a word, position of a text, or placing a text with a picture. Okay, start teaching about hyperlinks and anchor, and from there they start moving you over to tables, and everybody know tables was widely used back in those days. Today, mostly div is taking the place of the things that we use table for. So, okay, I'm in audio and video, and I'm in the website era at the time where it was just audio, and I worked mostly with real audio, right? Because that was the guys that was doing the thing those days. Flash came along and sort of knocked them out of the box as far as delivering media on the internet. Flash became the best route. A lot of people logged on to that. Okay, so now after learning to do unformat and format HTML, and then we moved over to the tables. And tables could actually, because a lot of pages in those days was did by table. And so we had place set to place things in different parts of the table. And then, it was cool. Table was ever responsive. If you shrunk the table, the thing, I'm baffling here. I'm not going to stop. If you shrink the screen, the table also shrink like a responsive page. So responsive web design was always there. It is just that web designers was not really focusing in that area because we didn't have a mobile device widely being used as one now, right? Test proof that because I still have a lot of old templates from back way in the 90s that I run now on the web, and it's responsive, and it's no bootstrap in it, none of that. So one don't have to use bootstrap framework in order to be responsive. Okay, let's jump back to the beginning of what I said. Remember I said back in the days we had just text on the bay end. The way to communicate with someone was Apple Talk. So Apple is kind of responsible now for that electronic communication, as they are much responsible for giving us responsive web design. As we saw over the years that Apple pushed a lot of dollars into mobile devices, changing the way that people view the internet. And even for a lot of people that's doing online IPTV, we all know about Apple TV, right? So we try to get the people the history of where it's coming from. Now, because Windows and Macintosh do have their own video or audio format, and around the world are different systems, you have to come up with something that can be used for everyone to look at media or listen to media on any system. So Flash was the choice. And we all know, web developers, that when the HTML framework was developed, they did not include audio or video in it, right? It was just text, picture, hyperlink, and so forth. You have to use a third-party plugin like Real Audio or a Flash plugin in order to give your users online this experience. Now, this news hour is sponsored by DTM R&D. Yes, so we talk about user experience. Because like I said, back in the days when I had my first music site, musicnetmall.com, I had a store and you can listen to the audio, and I work a lot with Real Audio script so that the users can listen to the audio when they come by before buying the song. I may stop and change the topics a lot of times, but it is my show, so I can give you views to give you a more better, clear view. Well, you know, I did okay, and I made a little money from the music and the things that I was doing. And when I was around about 25, I invested a bunch of money, about $200,000, mainly into equipment, my Commodore computers, you know what I mean? It was Commodore then. And then bought into the first toaster, TV software, right? And use it for editing and lights that we want to start a small TV station, right? And invested money into record printing machine. I had a big lathe that cuts, make records and stuff, right? So my involvement in the video development, that you know, I am a video engineer and I've been involved in that area for a real long time on the music level, right? Okay, let's get back to talking about the programming. So, you know, we talk about I had a Commodore. When I got a Commodore, I studied to learn to use the system, got proficient using it, and dug in more and found out about basic programming. And then, you know, you can mimic those open windows, build windows. But I was building windows and things with, and calling, you know, the different commands from out the library. And I wanted more to connect it up and to make it a full program. So keep in mind, there was no website development, so all focus is on creating a software within the machine that runs and do the things that I want to do. So that's where I started. And during those days, the Computer and Science Institute, I took a course from them. And of course, I didn't go to college like a lot of people. I did mine at home, where you spend a bunch of money and get the home course and study to be a computer programmer, because I had kids and I had to keep, you know, a balance. And what I did during those days, the music was the money thing, my little studio, and I did that to earn $1. And in the meantime, at nights, I would study C, right? And I'm always corresponding with the companies that develop software, so I got hooked up with one of the developers there, and that really put me on a journey after I'd learned a certain thing and showed me how to actually formulate Windows structure, buttons, and so forth. I did that, and we got going. Okay, let's come back over to web development 90s. So, okay, talking about what I was doing there, that was in the 80s, right? And now web development is in the 90s. So we're back to the 90s right now. So website architecture has not really changed dramatically that much over the years. It's just that we should account these things for we are getting smarter, more wiser, more precise. You know, we view things in different form. I guess John speak on this on his show. I give it to you in my view. Now I can best explain the change of design since I'm one of the individuals that actually went through that. Starting out just running with a natural format. I did that. And then along the way, style sheet, website started looking more attractive. So I got into that. You're making the site look more beautiful. Then, Flash came along, and I got into that, and it was all about creating Flash sites. You know what I mean? Having things slide and go around, come to a Flash intro, and little music play, and then it goes spin around and goes into the site, right? At one point, I changed it, SMTVS, the first one, to a complete Flash site, right? Everything was Flash. The whole site was Flash. I was in that Flash era, right, of web development. We regress, that's true, back to the normal standard design. And then we start just putting small Flash function instead of overdosing the page with Flash. So yes, after Flash, everybody sort of like settled down and style sheets are there. So designers try to just design for clients. With the rising of the mobile apps, more greater demand was put on the web for responsive web design. Now, okay, I look in the web and everywhere I look, there is no other name that you will hear but Bootstrap. I was off the Mac for a while and I got back my new Mac, and when I got on the Mac, I knew that Bootstrap and these guys who designed this script for mobile had to be an Apple computer user, and all this framework was designed on an Apple. So great. I didn't have to go out like a lot of the young guys and read about responsive design and how to design responsive page. Something that we have always been doing all the time. Let me tell you something. The only thing I'm doing different in design as far as script, that in the past, how they call it Renaissance time, I used tables to set up the framework, and that's the basic thing. What did I change? I don't use tables that much these days. I use a div in place of a table. And working with style sheet and using the class in the div to give the div itself functions. So along the way, in the early days, I always incorporate div and tables within the script. But I guess along the way, Bootstrap saw the best route was to use div, and it works best with style sheet, setting up different classes. So okay, so it's easy for old guys like us who know the whole thing to just jump into the responsive website designing, because in a way we ourselves is part of the whole program that help usher in things like that. So now it's true that I heard John Morris say something on the show that about website looking the same way. True. Nowadays, everybody's in responsive design, so most of the websites that you go are responsive. I know a lot of old sites that I went to, like Dynamite DMHL, one of the sites that I went to for years, and they had just was on the same Renaissance thing. From there, I went there one day and they found a change to responsive. I know I'm on INTHAS service, and when I went into the control panel, it was just like the Renaissance look, right? And I got in there one morning and I look, it's a responsive administrative system. So everyone is adapting to more and more and more and more and more to the Bootstrap responsive scripting for website. Microsoft, Google, everyone. That's just the way it is. Everyone ran to Google for YouTube video as they're looking at the Bootstrap framework for responsive design. So most of the young developer, that's what they learn, responsive design, and they learn HTML5. A lot of older developers like us, we learn the root HTML5, Java, and all that stuff, and then we learn the new stuff that they add to it that make us a little bit more better than the younger guys, because we have the old information and the new information in bed, and we can mix, right? So yeah, we're talking about responsive design. It's the same way that, I get up on the radio and I talk about my Code Editor Plus that's made for video, building video page and re-editing the video page. And I designed and created that on a non-responsive setup, but it was still responsive because it was created by tables and everything's still shrunk down to mobile. But I was spending a lot of time designing some new stuff like the vid admin IPTV script, and during those time I started incorporating Bootstrap framework slightly, and now completely it's fully integrated into my scripting. You see how things change? You start and then eventually it's moving into your stuff. And now I recreated also the code editor and gave it a bunch of new functions and tools and dialog box to create responsive templates. And I saw clearly that responsive template design, it is our future, so we got to ride with it. And in creating a new code setup to edit or build responsive page on the fly, and to also give a user the flexibility to alter or change or customize the same responsive template because they want to stand out from someone else. So that's in the thought pattern of creating this software. As responsive design is going to be with us forevermore. And I don't think the website design is going to really change dramatically. If we're in an era where people who have a different tastes, they will generally make website to reflect that era and timeline. Because in this world, we reuse and recycle old ideas. Everything we have here is nothing is new. Oh, wow. Everything they just recycled and gave it back to us. Old cars are made new, right? Old watch are retouched up and old furniture are retouched up. Everything is it looks new because it's the time. And these days we are using our more, okay, let's talk about something. You notice how computers in the old days, they started out using this plastic alloy, this plastic, that we still use on some of these old computers, right? And most of the new stuff that's coming down, it's like metal, right? The real good ones, it's coming in metal. So we're going to see the future showing us computers that's basically aluminum metal looking boxes, just like your pad, That is the trend. I said to a young friend of mine last night, he came by. It's good. When he come around, he liked to watch Flash, and he comes and he said, "Vaughn, there's a new Flash. We gotta watch it." So I just stopped doing my computer program. I'm like, "All right, Aki, me what? Go search for the Flash. Let's watch Flash." Okay. And during that time, I said to him, "Wow, you see the way they shape our future by using these shows?" I said to him. And I said, "Well, pretty much when you get out of school in a couple of years, and then a while from now, you're going to actually have these different type of computers that's sitting on your desk. Just look like a little flat, big iPod that's laid back on your table, and, that's it. Or, you're going to have the paper iPod that you can just pass information from one part to the next part, and you don't need to plug in anything." I was explaining the future and the changes that is there to take place, right? I also elaborate on they like to watch a lot of games, and I said these guys program the kids them with the game, and the games are so violent. But I stepped back and I said to him, "Hey, in years to come, you'll be about 50. I'll be long gone from this world, and it'll be all these hot spots popping up around the world, and people trying to let off nuclear bomb, and you actually gonna get what you see on TV on Earth, because we always do this to ourselves and set a future that is gonna be destructive." So they teach the kids the destructive motion within the game. Cool. Anyway, let's get off of that. We are talking about responsive design. Well, sometimes you have to slip off and do a thing. Yes, so responsive design. Bootstrap is the responsive design king, right? As Google is the search king, right? Okay. Okay, so let's talk a bit more about we talk about responsive design, and I spoke on the editor being a script that I developed to do this. Now these days, I think about doing program that would make a difference and simplicity. You have a lot of programs that's there, sure, and it's real sophisticated and a lot of stuff. Okay, let's back up a little bit. Some software that are based upon object-oriented or started like a Photoshop type design, you will get those type of sophisticated program. And that takes a lot of compilation, a lot of work, and muscles to put that in. Okay, I'm into web development, so I'm into designing editors and program that works within a website on a server for the use of doing work in the server. Not so much as desktop version software like Sketch or one of those stuff that you have in your desktop, and you sort of like do your stuff, save it, and then you will put it up. No, we are designing software that's within the network that you can use to do your work in cyber world, because most of the world work in the future. Let's stop for a minute. Catch a breath. Okay, let's say in the future of designing website or designing in anywhere, everything is going to be virtual. So your software is going to be in the network. Everything is going to be in the network. So a lot of times in designing, it won't be like you're going to have it on your desktop. You'll be linked to the network from your desktop to use software and other tools that you need to for your job, for any reason. Okay, so as I talk about having software and so forth and everything being virtual, one would keep in mind that I have a site, vga.smtvs.com, and I offer cloud tools for $9 a month. And now, sure, a lot of people, because the world is still half in and out, new and old people, will be saying, why I'm going to log online and pay $9 to use a web editor or a developer editor to develop software to develop my web page when I can go buy one and put it on my desktop and use it. Well, listen, the one on your desktop is going to become a thing of the past. And sooner you know now. And what's better with the future one? That you don't have to pay for an upgrade of a software every time a new one is made. Once you buy into the software, into the cloud, by ways of paying your little small dues, every time a new software comes, you gets it. And if you add the dollars over the period of time, that will happen. You will save tremendously a lot. Okay, let's give you some upswing and talk about Adobe. The reason why Adobe have to create the cloud. Adobe software is having more function, more better, performance over the years. And each year they have to add more money. And it costs you more for the software each year. And after a time, you may be paying $10,000 or $20,000 for one software. So they figured it out that for you to come to the cloud and use a Photoshop or any other editing tool will be much cheaper because you'll come and use the tool. The thing I find that we will try to introduce in our service is that somewhere along the line, if a user is using the tool, that's the time you will charge a user the extra money. But they'll just pay that $9 to go in and use basic stuff as they're going. But if they want to use other tools, other software to do other things, that they'll pay a little extra. So it's kind of paid when I want to use a type of service. So yes, and I will speak to developer on an end to say to them, yes, believe it or not, our future is virtual. Okay, you know the way when we need some information, we jump up, we'll go to Google, and we'll Google what we need right away, find out information. These days we run to YouTube, and we'll look at a tutorial and find what we want. So in the same way in the web, we will have free cloud that you can go to and get software to use to develop your work. And let me tell you here, I have VG site that I'm charging $9 a cloud. But if people join my service, they'll find that they can get a link to VG free cloud. There's always something to that. But the thing that you will still get a free cloud to come and develop your software. And something to that is it's like our affiliate program. You will have to keep our little tag there on that page that said powered by us, but you use the tool for free. Now, if you just want to just use the tool and build stuff and not want to have our name on this page that you create from our thing, then you just pay the $9. So much of what I'm talking about too is also, I don't want the new developers to understand that the future also pose different work style and habits, as there will be software that will be designed for users to automatically create a site, and it's already there in a lot of them, right? But okay, our software is designed for someone who's learning to program and who wants to do programs. So we leave all the doors open, so you see when the machine is making these files, these scripts, instead of you sit there and you do all these little nicks and knacks, open a box, type in a box, and move the color circle. You save everything, you see a beautiful page, but you did not see how this page was created code-wise. VG Code Editor Plus bring to the table that you can do all that dialogue stuff, and in the end, turn around and look at the chords and make physical change. And you can study chord line for line and learn how, even if you was a novice. So you're now in tune to Star Media IP Radio on the web and down to Touchdown House, webcasting live from Kingston, Jamaica. Now this program is brought to you by SMTVS.com, IP Digital Media Publishing Platform. Well, you guys remember to get over there to imp.smtvs.com and join the site, musician, artists, and help us go on a journey. Also, that's a script created by me, and if you get over there, you can tell me how the thing is, right? Okay, imusicplus.smtvs.com. One of my babies also, you can get over there and join the community, right? And hey, come with us on a journey. Visit smtvs.com and look around. vga.smtvs.com, imv.smtvs.com. Okay, great. So we plugged all our site. And you guys be sure to get over there and check out nightglow.com, right? Also, that's on our list of plugins. And I always plug johnmorrisonline.com. You guys get over there and take a look also. Okay, so we're talking about responsive design this morning, and I hope you guys have been getting some sense and some knowledge about the change in web development from there of someone who actually just living it every day. It's a good thing. I heard John elaborate on something which is true. Programmers really need to set time frame, work time, because the computer will just keep you there going and you will forget everything. Okay, you will sit there and years will pass and you will not even see the years pass. So you got to be careful when you're programming that to set real time slots when you're going to take a break, walk around a little bit, you know what I mean, and go back to it and set a time to close everything down. I generally block everything down as a program at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the night. I said, boom, I'm done, and I go to sleep or do whatever. So it's important to have time set. So this morning, I think we covered a lot today about responsive design and why you have to really pay attention to the things that you're doing. Okay, one more thing about charging people. Well, for me, I've been doing this for so long. My time is worth a lot. But for someone that's come and ask, say, Van, do a script for me, depends. I won't work for less than $100 an hour. And if I do work for less than $100 an hour, it's a really big project and I'm giving them a discount. Yes, I will do something for free, depends on what it is. I will do favors. If someone asks for some information, it's in my power to do so. I will also do that. If it's not information I'm going to give to them that they're going to use to compute against me, right? If they're going to use the computer against me, I'll still sell them because I'm getting $1 and I'm still doing my thing. Funny, right? So here giving you news and updates about SMTVS going on. Now, SMTVS is a company that's dealing with media housing. So we are saying you can come over and you can get a music site and we'll set you up on your own website and with tools that will help you to create a music website real fast, or a TV site, video site, or any form of media site. We also we'll be incorporating much stuff into the editor. You can create distant learning site also. So keep your eye on us. We are pushing the level and every day thinking about new ways to make our company profitable. So yes, if you need to get custom media website done. pga.smtvs.com. They are expert over there with more than 30 years experience in the business. So thanks to my users and listeners for taking the time to come over and listen to our news and our radio. We'll be uploading music today also. So you're now in tune to Star Media IP Radio on the web and down to £12 webcasting live from Kingston, Jamaica. Now this program is brought to you by SMTVS.com. IP Digital Media Publishing Platform.